Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Waldhart and you are here with Amanda's InspirationStation.com. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wednesday. Today is February 23rd and I have two pretty easy cards for you today. I'm kind of looking forward to this because there's a few different fun techniques in here, and some tips, some little tips and tricks, which I'm sure some of you may already know. But these cards are all about simple cards with some layers. So I really think that this is a lot of fun. We are going to be using the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. So this is a bundle that is currently in the January through June mini catalog. So we're going to be using that. A few other things we are going to be using. We're going to be using the Cloud Punch. Unfortunately, the Cloud Punch currently right now is unavailable. Stamping Up, that means we no longer do back orders. If we do not currently have it in our warehouse to ship out, it's just currently unavailable. As soon as it comes back into our warehouse, then it'll be available to purchase. Due to all the global shipping delays and difficulties, it just got too much. So if we don't have it in our warehouse, we don't have it to sell. So our Cloud Punch is currently unavailable. But the other products are, and we're going to be using some Hippo and Friends dies. We're going to be using the largest one of this shape. And we're also going to be using the largest one of this shape. And then we're using some circle dies. And we're using some texture. So we're using some embossing folders. This one here is Tasteful Textile. And then this one we're using for the polka dots here. And we're using the checks and dots embossing folder. All right. And then we're also going to do a little heat emboss and some die cutting. So let me share with you the designer series paper that we're using is the Sunshines in Rainbow 6x6 paper. It is a celebration item. So you have until February 28th. So you have 5 more days to purchase anything that you want so that you can get celebration items for free. So you can go to amandasinspirationstation.com and I would love for you to use this hostess code to place any of your orders that you need to grab these last minute free celebration items. Now, for me, I like to stock up on the cardstock, or not the cardstock, the designer series paper. So this is the designer series paper that we're using today, and it is called Sunshine and Rainbows. This one's not open, but it is wonderful paper, and I just absolutely love this. So you can use this over and over and over again. Like, yes, some of the patterns have rainbows on them, but on the back side, they're just different colors with patterns, and you can use them for any occasion. Just a great pack of paper. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with this one first here, and we're going to need basic white cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5. You're going to score it at 4 1/4, or you can fold it in half. Give it a little pinch at the end there and use your bone folder. Now, if you go to amandasinspirationstation.com, which the link is right below in this video, you can click right on there. There is a printable project sheet for you. It has the colored pictures of both of these cards. It has all the supplies that I use and the measurements. The instructions are here with the video. And if you are not a YouTube subscriber of mine, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you watching and appreciate your support in my business. Okay, so for the second layer, I wanted it just to be basically white on white. So this is where I ran it through the embossing, cut and emboss machine using the Tasteful Textile folder. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. So I'm going to get out my dimensionals here, pop this up. All right. And I put one in the middle. You don't want a saggy center. So we're just going to line that right up so that it's in the center. See how it just gives it a little extra lip, just gives it a little extra oomph. All right, so this rainbow right here is actually from the designer series paper. There is a sheet that has just rows of rainbow. Now you could just fussy cut this out and place the rainbow on there like that. I did not do that. I actually took with this one, I wanted to share this with you. I actually took the rainbow die out like this, and I actually placed it right over. So this is a little tip and trick. You can place this right over and run this through your machine, which is exactly what we are going to do right now. So I have my cut and emboss machine. I'm going to place that on there like that, but I'm going to line it up, make sure it's lined up. There we go. And I'm just going to run that through. Now I have made cards where I have fussy cut the whole thing out, so it's just one piece. But with this, I didn't want to do that. I actually wanted them to be little pieces of rainbow. So that's what I did. So how nice is that? The die fits right on top of that. I better pick that up or I will lose it. I don't know if you're like me. Well, of course, I can't pick it up with my nails right now. There we go. Jeez. I tend to lose dies sometimes. And then I'll find them later and I'll be like, oh, there it is. All right. So this is where we're going to need a couple clouds. So I'm just going to bring out my cloud punch here. And I just have scrap basic white. I'm going to cut out some clouds. And just like that. There we go. All right. And then I have a scrap piece of basic white because we're going to want to stamp the You Make Me Happy. And we're going to want to do this in Versamark. So I'm going to get this nice and inky with my Versamark. Now you're not going to be able to see this when I stamp on it right now because it is clear, but I'm going to bring in my white embossing powder and I'm going to just sprinkle over, and don't be shy, you're tapping it off anyway. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to flick it because I find when you flick it, you're getting a better, it's coming off a lot easier than it is if you just tap it. Now, if there's still some on there, another little tip and trick. I took this from my daughter. She had some little paint brushes that she had from like different little paint kits, and she didn't use this anymore. So I just took it. But you can easily just wipe away different little dots like that. Pick a small, really tiny paintbrush because it's a lot easier. And you can even, if you don't have a kit, go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and just grab one. Okay, I can feel the grit from the powder, so give me a minute here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my heat tool and I am going to heat emboss this until it turns to a shiny white. And you'll see it turn like right before your eyes. So just takes a minute here to get my heat tool heated up. There, see how it's already, the happy is a lot whiter than the other words? And because I don't want to burn my finger, I'm going to switch that around. And there we go. And now it's just a shiny white. So it's finished. All right. Now I'm going to fussy cut this out. Yes, you heard me right. I'm going to fussy cut this out. I don't want it to be perfect. So I'm going to literally just go like this across the bottom here. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go like that. And then I actually did a little angle this time on the end just to give it a little something different. But you don't have to. You can leave it however you want. All right, so let's put our card together. So we have this. I'm going to get out my green glue here. Love this green glue. I know many do not. I am not one of them. I love green glue. All right, I'm going to start with the largest one first. And the reason why is because I started one time with a card with the smaller one first, but then I didn't have enough room. So I had put my smaller piece over here. So by the time this came along, it was hanging off my card and I did not want that. So I'm literally going to start with the larger one first, and I'm just going to tap it down like that. And then I'm just going to go to the next one. And dot, dot, not a lot. I got a little too much on there. That's what I say with glue, just dot, dot, not a lot. All right. We're just gonna, in fact, sometimes I even just do a tiny little bit. We're gonna place that down. And then we got the Bermuda Bay one. And we're gonna place that down. There we go. So now we have our rainbow. Now I want to punch up my clouds. I want them to have some height. So I'm going to, give me a second here. We're going to go around this. I don't know if you guys do this, but I use every piece of my dimensional, because look at all these pieces that I am creating. I'm creating a lot. There we go. And I'm just gonna peel those off. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to pop it like this, and I'm going to overlap it. I'm gonna overlap it like that. And then I'm going to place dimensionals on this piece as well. So I'm going to pop that up. See, those side pieces of the dimensionals fit perfect. And I'm just going to kind of place that over like that. And then I'm going to add, which these are my favorite. These are probably my favorite embellishment out of the January through June mini catalog. I absolutely love these. They're the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I have a little strip left from one pack. So before I open this pack, I'm going to use this. But these are my favorite. I just love them. So they have a small, medium, and large size, and I'm going to use one of each, and I'm just going to kind of go like that. There's our card. This is a very simple card, but you got a little tip in there by using the die, and then you also used heat emboss. Just a very simple card. You make me happy. Okay, so let's start with the second card. Let's bring that card out. So this card was fun to make. I actually enjoyed making this card. This is what I call, sometimes I like to do cards where I add a bunch of different die pieces to it, and I layer up those dies. And that's really the focus point of the entire card. So I have the card base, which is Mango Melody. Again, 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4 1/4. Or fold in half like I do. I always feel like scoring is just an extra step for me, so I just fold and do this. I mean, I know, because even if I score it, I'm going to use my bone folder. So it's like, to me, it's just an extra step. All right, I have two pieces here. Now, this card is about layering, and I have an inside piece, which is the white, and that measures at 4 by 5 1/4. And then same with the first piece outside here. This is the same size, 4 by 5 1/4. Now, if I really wanted to do even some more layering, I really could make one of these colors as a cardstock and then do the DSP over top. But I chose to just kind of leave it at the DSP. But sometimes I will do that. I will make it so that the first layer on the front of the card is made with cardstock, and then my second layer would be the designer series paper. But this time I just did it like this because I wanted most of the layering focus to be on the dies. So I'm just going to center this on the front of the card flat. Okay, so that's just flat. Now, the pieces that I chose all pieces that were colors of what's in this designer series paper. So I have Misty Moonlight as the large piece from the Hippo and Friends. Then I have the large piece of this from Hippo and Friends, but I decided to use a different pattern of that designer series paper. Then I'm doing layers, right? So I have cardstock, designer series paper. Okay. Now I'm going to do another piece of cardstock because I'm just layering this up. So this piece is Pool Party, and this piece, because I still wanted texture on it, I ran it through that cut and emboss machine, and I used the Dots embossing folder. Now this piece with the circle, I used just the designer series paper. So I chose this. Now you could do whatever you want. I liked this piece because I got the rainbow and the sun, and then we're going to do the clouds. So I'm going to show you a little trick too. This paper comes, these clouds actually come in the sunshine and rainbow sunshine and rainbow paper, but it fits perfectly. So here's another tip. So before I showed you how the die fit, the rainbow die fit the paper, now this punch fits the cloud. So you can just punch it out like that. How awesome is that? I absolutely love this paper. So you can go through and all the clouds that you're able to punch out, you can just punch out. Punch out this one. Let's decide which one we'll do. I like that. All right, and then I have this one from previous. So we can pick whichever one we want. I kind of like the hearts, so we're going to go with the hearts, and then I'll save these for other projects. And then we need a white cloud. So I'm just going to punch that because that's what we're going to actually stamp our image on. So we have that cloud. So now let's bring out our Magenta Madness ink pad, and we're going to bring out a little something to brighten your day. And I'm going to just stamp that right on the left side of the cloud like that. All right. And now let's go ahead and layer it. Now, if we really wanted to layer this up, I made everything flat on this card except for the clouds, but I'm not going to do that this time. So this time I want to show you how layering a bunch of die cut pieces as your focal point on your card can really give it a 3D cool effect. Now, because you're doing multiple layers, you definitely want to put a dimensional in the center because you don't want this to be a saggy center. All right, so I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to layer this up. And I'm just going to have some fun here. I'm going to just put 3 of them. I'm just going to layer, layer, layer. All right. This is a lot of fun when you're doing a card, but it's also a lot of fun when you're doing a framed art piece. This is how a lot of times I'll do a framed art piece, is I'll do a bunch of layers like this to really give it a 3D effect. Now this piece is kind of a little bit larger, so I am going to go ahead and put one in the center as well. And I'm just going to layer that up. I'm going to get some more dimensionals because clearly I need some more. So I'll open another pack. Oh, by the way, here's another trick too. When you're opening your package of dimensionals, do you ever save these and put treats in them and use it as a cello bag? These work really good. When you're doing any 3D projects that involve treats, you could put like 3 fun-sized candy bars in there, fold it down like this and attach it. Super cute. I save it all. I save it all. All right, so now I'm going to, and I got 2 more left over here. I'm going to... See, yes, I'm using a lot of dimensionals. I realize this, but I like it. It's fun. See, now look at the difference in this card, how it's just, it's made a different impact on it. And I like that. So I'm going to, for this piece, now here's where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to put a little adhesive up here, but not a dimensional, but I am going to flip this over and I'm going to stack two dimensionals on top of each other because I want to give it height. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of adhesive for that. So I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to give this 2 dimensionals, but we're going to stack them on top of one another. And then I'll use just a little green glue right there because I have it. And we're going to go like that. There, see, now doesn't that look cute? And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring out some of these iridescent rhinestones that I love so much. And I really do love these. And I'm going to, oh, there it is. I'm like, wait a minute, where did that go? There we go. All right. There we go. See how fun that was? You're just, yes, you're doing some die cutting, but look at the difference in that card. You can do it either way. You can make just the clouds pop up. I mean, technically, I feel like I could have added another dimensional under the clouds. But I like it both ways. I really do. And, you know, it's not that puffy. You still can put this in a regular envelope and you still can mail it with 1 stamp. So there are your cards today. I hope you guys liked this project. I do want to briefly show, just real quick, because I have it open, I'm going to pull out this paper because this paper is absolutely gorgeous. And if you have 1 pack of it, I mean, look at it. It is just gorgeous. You can use so many things. I mean, look at it. How pretty would this be with an Easter card? You know, same with here. You've got the light colors. Both of these would be so pretty with Easter. These do not have to be, you know, anything else. I love this pattern. This is probably one of my favorite patterns. Here is the piece right there that we just used the die to cut out. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Look at that. Would be Easter. You could put that as Easter. Just, although I like the clouds. Sunshine card, you know, give somebody a sunshine basket. You name it. I mean, just look at this. It's just gorgeous. This is probably my other favorite pattern right there. I love that. So this paper is just endless. I love it. I have stocked up on it. You will definitely see me offering some kits after celebration where we will use this paper, and then that paper will be in the kits for you. But I really hope that you guys like this. Get your own pack. You're going to love it. I promise you. And go ahead and print the printable sheet for this. The link is right below. And if you are not a subscriber to me, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do come on here every Wednesday for a weekly Wednesday. And then I also randomly post other videos. You can follow me on Facebook at Amanda's Inspiration Station. I do Monday night Facebook Live, so I do different projects. And I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And thank you. Bye-bye.